نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا هو خير مما يجمعون وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الدنيا سجن المؤمن وجنة الكافر وكما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. I was thinking today that since we are so engaged in this technology, we are very far away from the nature. It's been back in the days, people used to enjoy the nature a lot. They have time to look at the sky, they have time to look at the mountains, to look at the scenery. But nowadays we are so engaged in the technology that we have no time. One sheikh, he said, we look at these things as if as like the animals look at them. Although all of these things are the sign of Allah. How many times in Quran Allah asks us, emphasizes us, look at the sky, look at the mountain. One ayat in Surah Qaf, it's وَزَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحَ وَحِفْظًا. It's not like Allah is saying that I have created the heaven. Allah is saying I have beautified the heaven. We are not able to see the beauty of Allah. We are so inspired, we are so attracted towards these things that Allah's creation we are not able to attract. We are not able to attract ourselves towards it. That's why we are not inspired by Allah. The much greatness and the much value of Apple company I don't have it for Allah. I'm inspired, I am attracted towards the manufacturing company who's manufacturing all these technology. But look at Allah. How Allah has created, beautified everything. We look at these things as if the animals look at it. So Allah has beautified. The most beautiful is Allah Himself. And then Allah's creation, Allah has beautified. Same way, Allah has beautified this life also with a very beautiful purpose. Purpose is something which brings real happiness. Purpose is something which brings real joy, real contentment. If the purpose is lost, then there is no joy, there is no contentment, there is no fun, there is no happiness. A person goes to work and he loves his work, he loves his co-workers, he loves his boss, he loves his company. But at the end of the month, he doesn't get paid. Do you think his family is going to be happy? Or he himself is going to be happy? He enjoys the time he at his work a lot, but he doesn't get to pay at the end of the month. The student, he loves his school, he loves his classmates, he loves his teacher, he loves everything about the school. But at the end of the year, he doesn't graduate. Is there any point? Is he going to be happy? This is exactly how this life is, my dear brothers and sisters. That I love my family, I love my house, I love my job, I love myself, but I fail to recognize Allah. I failed to please Allah. I failed to got close to Allah. Nothing matter. Your house was zero, your family was zero, everything became zero. You can never feel the real joy in you unless you please Allah. This is what I wanted to say. The real contentment, the real happiness, you can never have it until you fulfill the purpose of your existence. That is to please Allah. That for that Allah has revealed Quran. I was just thinking today, Allahu Akbar. The dilemma that we are far away from Quran, we have no understanding of Quran, is that so many things we want ourselves to do, we want our family members to do. Who doesn't want himself and their family members to worship Allah properly, or to cry before Allah, or to live among each other happily and with love and with forgiveness, with sweet akhlaq? Who doesn't want this? But does I myself and my family members know what Allah is promising on all of this? What are the promises of Allah if I forgive anyone? If I let anyone go? What promises of Allah are there when I fulfill the rights of others upon me? Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows. That's why small things, we have fights. We have fights. And salah becomes so heavy upon us because we have no idea how many promises of Allah are there on salah. Same thing, the whole deen is like that. So my dear brothers and sisters, because deen is the only door through which I can fulfill the purpose of my existence. That's why the deen is the greatest gift of Allah. Greatest gift of Allah, which we have totally neglected. We think this job is a gift, this family is a gift, this money that we have, food we have, this is a gift. Yes, this is a gift. But there are no way to compare what the gift of deen of Allah is. We have never rejoiced deen. We don't understand the value of this. That's why we don't rejoice. Allah asking us in the Quran, قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. This fadl of Allah I have given you, this fadl of mine I have given you, this rahmat of mine I have given you, this is something on which you should rejoice. You should be happy on this deen. Allah has given us deen. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. खुश हों and become happy. Allah wants us to be happy on this. And Allah is saying in the end, هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. This is far better on what you're saving, on what you're gathering all your life, the money you're trying to save and the things, the property you're trying to save, all of this, what you're trying to save, this deen is far better than that. So anyway, my point is that purpose is something which brings the real joys. That's why, Allahu Akbar, there are two types of ibadat in deen, worships in deen. One type is which is specified with time, and one is which is not specified with time. So like we recite Quran, so there is no specific time to recite Quran, you can recite any time. There is no specific time to give charity, you can give any time you want. Right? To serve your parents, there is no specific time, you can do any time. So there are worships which has no specific time. There are some worships, one type in our deen of those worships which are specified with time. Salah has a specific time. Fasting 30 days of month of Ramadan, specific time, the month of Ramadan. Hajj, specific time, Tanzil Hajj, right? The days of Hajj. So those are ibadat which are specified with time, Allah has kept an Eid after that. Because you fulfill the purpose of your life, now become happy. Now, I'm asking you to be happy. I'm asking you to greet each other. This is what Eid is. So after a month of Ramadan, we have Eid al-Fitr. After Hajj, we have Eid al-Adha. And this Friday prayer that we have every week, this is an Eid for the weekly 5-time prayer salah. That is also an Eid. So anyway, this is the purpose behind Eid. We are not happy just because um, it's a day of happiness. No, no, no. There's a purpose behind it. You fulfill the command of Allah. For 30 days you fasted. You please your Rabb. Now on this you need to be happy. And on happiness, also we worship Allah. Our happiness is also worshipping of Allah. Our happiness, our happy occasions are not like other religions. They just came to come together and celebrate and then that's it. It's not a ritual. Our Eid is not a ritual. Our Eid is also worship. On Eid day, we offer extra salah. Another salah. Because our happiness is worshipping of Allah. This is what our worship is. So, inshallah, Allahu Akbar. This year is a very strange year of what is happening around. But inshallah, we need to be very patient and we need to be pleased with Allah. That, oh Allah, whatever circumstance you have kept us in, we are happy with you. And we need to be asking Allah patiently to remove all these difficulties, inshallah. But those people who have in their household more than 4 men, 4 adults, including the Imam, they can offer Eid Salah in their houses. They are allowed to offer their Eid Salah in their houses. So the Eid Salah time is like 20 minutes to 30 minutes after the sunrise. Nowadays, sun is rising around 6:05, 6:10. So 6:30 you can start. You can, if you want to offer, that's the earliest time. And 30 minutes before the Zohar Salah enters. So nowadays, Zohar Salah is entering around 1:25, 1:20. So 12:45, like that. Before that, you should offer. So it's 2 rakat, which are wajib. And the difference is that between Eid and Jum'ah, for Jum'ah, khutbah is done before the Salah. And to listen to khutbah is wajib. But in Eid Salah, khutbah is done after the Salah. And to listen or to give khutbah is not wajib, it's sunnat muakkada. But once it's given, to listen to it is wajib. So the method is that the Imam should make niyat that I'm offering 2 rakat of Eid, which is wajib, and the people behind him should make intention of offering Eid Salah behind the Imam. So to say the words are not necessary. It's just when you will stand and you have this intention in your heart, that's good enough. So intention is what's something within the heart. What you say from your tongue is just to confirm what you have in the heart. So if you don't say it, that's not a problem. It's not an issue that I didn't say anything. But what you have to have intention that I'm offering Eid Salah with extra takbirat behind this Imam facing towards the Qibla. That's normal intention we have. And then the Imam, when he will stand for 2 rakat, there is no azan, there is no iqamat for Eid. So Imam will stand and he will say Allahu Akbar in the beginning of Salah, like normally we start our Salah. And he will recite the Sana, Subhanakallahumma bihamdika, that we recite normally in our Salah. And after Sana, before Surah Fatiha and before the Surah we add with the Surah Fatiha, he will say 3 extra takbirat. In the first 2, he will raise his hand and leave them down, untied, in the first 2. Third time when he will say Allahu Akbar, he will not leave his hand, he will tie his hand. And he will recite Surah Fatiha and then he will recite another surah, goes into ruku, goes into sajda, like normally we complete our salah. In the second rakat, he will recite Surah Fatiha and then he will recite another surah. Before going into ruku, he will say another 3 extra takbirat. All 3 of them he will raise his hand and leave his hand. Raise his hand, leave his hand. Raise his hand and then leave his hand. And in the 4th takbir, he will go into ruku and complete his salah normally like we do it, right? And after completing the salah, We can recite the khutbah. You can find it online also, or you can ask me. I can forward it to you. Otherwise, just reciting Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Lillahi alhamd, Takbiratul Tashriq 3 times in the first khutbah, and 3 times again in the second khutbah would be enough. And after khutbah, you can make dua, and this is your Eid Salah, inshallah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun